If you want to grow your Etsy shop, you probably want to expand and grow the customers that you bring in from the outside to your store. Now, of course, using Etsy's built-in traffic of 90 million customers is a great place to attract customers organically on the platform because they have 90 million customers currently shopping on the platform already. You can also think about bringing your own traffic to help boost your shop, especially if you're new. There are a lot of different social media platforms that you could use to grow your Etsy shop and make more sales, but most people are thinking of Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok, and they're forgetting about the power of Pinterest. All of the others are, of course, great opportunities too, but the lifespan of your social media posts on these platforms like Facebook and Instagram is very short. On Facebook, for example, a post on a business page is only going to be shown to your audience or within their Facebook feeds for a couple of hours before it essentially dies. So you constantly have to create new content on these platforms in order for your audience, your potential buyers, to actually see you. Pinterest is different because it's actually a search engine, much like Google or even Etsy itself. Traffic to your pins builds over time because more and more people see your products when they match for the searches people are making. Just like on Etsy, when the traffic and sales to your listings build successfully over time. It's very possible for Pinterest to actually drive sales from your pins to your Etsy shop for years. So when we talk about lifespan, Pinterest is the place to be. And because it actually works relatively similar to Etsy, if you are a successful Etsy seller or you are a new Etsy seller, I promise you can be successful with Pinterest. Pinterest is a long-term growth strategy though, so keep in mind it's going to take a little bit of time to see results, but it can pay off for years to come. So in this video, I'm going to share with you 6 of my Pinterest growth strategies to help you make more sales on Etsy. Pinterest has always been about the handmade and the DIY and the inspiration. And people like to go there to find gift ideas. So it makes sense that you as an Etsy seller, if those are goals that your target customer has, would also be on that platform. Where most people get on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok to connect with friends, people they know, and also get entertained. So the goals of the platforms are very different. It's important to know that as you think about your Pinterest strategy. So the first Pinterest strategy I'm going to share with you is to make sure that you have a business account. You will need to create a business account on Pinterest and fill out all of your bio's info. This is all searchable and you want people to feel like they understand what your brand is when they land on your Pinterest profile. The second thing is to be strategic with your Pinterest boards. Once you have your Pinterest account started, you want to start creating boards. And think of these like your Etsy shop sections. The board should be narrow enough that it's for a specific type of product, but broad enough that you could continue to post pins to that board and not run out of things you could be posting. Another board strategy that I like to use is to create boards around reasons people buy, like Christmas gift for a boyfriend or Mother's Day gifts. Now, the third strategy is to create high quality pins, high quality images of your Etsy products. Now, your Etsy images are going to be in square or landscape format, and Pinterest's ideal image ratio is to be a vertical image. So you need to edit your Etsy shop images to the correct size on Pinterest. You don't want to pin directly from Etsy and just pin your square or landscape photos because of this preferred ratio difference. Just like how Etsy has a preferred photo format, so does Pinterest. And Pinterest decides to rank images based on what they think their customers will like in the search results. And they know their customers like the vertical images that fit Pinterest desired. One more tip too is that you can actually use your short form videos like your Instagram Reels, your TikToks, or anything like that on the Pinterest platform as idea pins, and they do get a lot of views, and there's not nearly as much competition for video on Pinterest as there is on the other platforms. I do recommend though that you don't repost with brand watermark like the Instagram or TikTok watermark. You want to make sure you use your original video content that doesn't have those other brand watermarks on it when you repurpose to Pinterest. Now, the fourth strategy is to use great keywords on your pins. Most of your Etsy keywords are going to work on Pinterest as well, but here are a couple of quick ways that I research good keywords for Pinterest. So I have two methods for finding keywords on Pinterest. The first one is similar to Etsy search. We are going to search things in the Pinterest search bar, like Notion template. Let's say that I am selling Notion templates, and I can see what kind of things auto-populate. Notion template ideas for students, aesthetic. These all might be keywords that I use on my Pinterest pins. But let's add student in here, and what I love about this, when you start getting more specific, you can see what kind of keywords are things people are really searching for on Pinterest. So if I was selling this, I would be looking at putting the word pink in there, or dark or green, aesthetic, things like that. So that's the first way that I find Pinterest keywords. The second way, and you need a business account for this, this is why you need your Pinterest to be a business account, is to go under analytics and trends. When we look at Pinterest trends, we can see the historical data for any keyword that Pinterest recognizes as a popular search. And we do have this set up for the United States, but you can also select by specific country too. So if I put in Notion, I can take a look at different Notion templates and see what the search data is. So I can see that in August and January are the most popular times for this trend, back to school and New Year. But I can see that it's pretty consistent overall as far as this keyword goes. And I can also scroll down and find other keyword ideas. So maybe I want to create pins with the keyword homepage, Notion dashboard, and I can see some of the most popular pins there for this keyword. We can also compare keywords. So if I put a Notion template student, I have these other ideas, and let's put in this one. In this particular case, we can see that the keyword search volume is lower for student just because it's more specific. It's a longer tail keyword, but the search data mimics Notion templates in general exactly, which is really interesting. And then we can look at all of the search data to see who's searching for this and why. We can also look at seasonal things like autumn planner, or I could do autumn template, autumn aesthetic, to get ideas of trends and designs, things like that. Obviously, this spikes right in August, September, but we can even see, if we look at this year, we have already noticed a huge spike immediately after the 4th of July. And then I can look at other types of keywords. So if I had a planner that was in lots of oranges and things, I might want to try to use these keywords. And not just planners too, this can be used for literally anything. Whether I was making stickers, I would want to maybe create pins with stickers that fit this autumn vibe, and then also had this keyword, dark autumn aesthetic nature stickers, or dark autumn aesthetic quote sticker, something like that. Now, our fifth strategy is to understand why people are on Pinterest. People use Pinterest as a place of inspiration and a place to shop and a place to do product research. Pinterest has positioned itself as an education-based platform, not an entertainment platform. So if you actually avoid platforms like Instagram or TikTok because you don't want to be a content creator or an influencer and dance all day, Pinterest is probably a great marketing tool for you. It's also important to know who's on Pinterest to determine if it's the right strategy for you. Most of Pinterest users are US-based women who are millennials or older. But this is slowly changing, and every year more and more men are on the platform and more Gen Z and younger clientele are on the platform. So understanding who uses Pinterest and what they use it for can help you decide, is this right for my type of product? Because if we understand who's using it and what they want to see, we can create pins effectively. So your Pinterest strategy should be to educate or inspire your target customers with ideas for gifts to buy or products that are going to help them solve a problem. Now let's move on to our final Pinterest strategy. Regularly and consistently being on Pinterest and pinning is key to making your pins actually perform. If the platform sees you as a good source of content and people are regularly viewing what you are posting, you are going to show up more often to buyers, and it's going to be better for you and be more effective for you overall. You don't want to overdo it and be seen as spam and go crazy and post hundreds of pins a day. That doesn't really help you. But if you can pin fresh, brand new, never to Pinterest before images 3 to 5 times a week, this is a great place to start. Pinterest prioritizes new content flowing in, and they're not very favorable to images that have been posted before. So if you want to reuse an image, you actually need to go into Canva and make some slight changes, like adding a background, adding text, adding borders, something like that, to reuse that image to have it favorable in the platform. You can also schedule your pins. Tailwind is the most widely used Pinterest scheduler app. It lets you automate your pins and schedule them out far in advance, but you can also schedule for free in the Pinterest app itself, which is what I actually like to use. So now that you have these 6 Pinterest strategies, let's look at an anatomy of a good pin in real life. So here's a great example of what I would say is a high quality pin of an Etsy product. So first of all, the image is the correct sizing. It takes up the full vertical pin. I'll show you what it looks like in the feed. Let's see, where did it go? Oh, over here on the left-hand side, you can see it's vertical compared to some of these other small products that are pinned straight from Etsy where the item is square or small. So they use the correct Pinterest sizing. And then also what's great about this is it shows kind of what the product is, and it's very beautifully done. We have some keywords in the title itself. So the first part of the title is the actual product name, and then she's got some other keywords like all-in-one Notion organizer, digital planner, and vision. And then the product description below that is probably from her Etsy shop listing. It describes some of the benefits to the customer, as well as having some keywords in this product description. And then if I click on the link, it goes straight to her Etsy product. So I can see that right here, and I think this is a really good example of a beautiful, well done, high quality pin. Remember that Pinterest is a long-term game, and you may not see successful sales results in Etsy coming from your Pinterest traffic for 3 to 6 months. It does take time. But the beauty of Pinterest is that you don't need to constantly feed it new content every single day. You can schedule out your pins really far in advance, and with time, those pins continue to send traffic to your Etsy shop for truly years to come. I hope that you found this video with my top Pinterest strategies for Etsy helpful. And if you want to learn more about how to grow your Etsy shop, how to sell printable or digital products on Etsy and make extra income, be sure and subscribe to our YouTube channel.